All right, here we are once again. This video, I'm gonna talk about something stupid that I'm gonna do. Something crazy and stupid, and maybe even an idea that you can take from it. But before we do that, before we talk about this crazy, stupid thing that I'm gonna do, let's go ahead and give a niche idea away. And what's really interesting, and what I like to talk about and tell you guys, are ideas that are real, ideas that are impacting, affecting me in my life, so that you know that it's real, it can happen, you could do it, you could take advantage of it. And so for my birthday's on Saturday, coming up, the kids got me a bike, a Mongoose fat tire bike. Awesome, I'm really excited about it, because I can ride my bike places, right? Let's go this way, so I don't have to climb down things. But what I've told my wife recently, every solution creates another problem. And it's kind of funny when you think about it, that's the truth. Every solution creates a whole new problem. I'll give you a couple examples and then I'll get into the niche. So we bought a new refrigerator a couple weeks ago. That's not the niche. We bought a refrigerator a couple weeks ago, but then we had to move the old one out. We wanted to keep the old one so that we could use it as a refrigerator in the garage to store drinks. But then I had to clean it out, and I had to move it from inside to outside. And so these are all problems that you've got to solve, or maybe even the tire was flat on the wheel dolly that I use. But if you think about it, every solution out there creates a whole new problem. I'm sitting by the lake, people that buy a boat so that they can hang out on the lake. Think about all the problems that solution, enjoyment, leisure, fun activity creates. You've got to understand the gas required and boating requirements for the different lakes and rivers and ocean, the right size boat, leasing a boat. Those are all problems associated with the solution. Making sure that you are compliant with the Coast Guard. We actually have a Coast Guard here, not too far. We have a Coast Guard here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. You wouldn't think that Kenosha, Wisconsin would have a Coast Guard, but we do. It's actually not too far from here. Anyway, but niche idea. We've got a bike. I want to take the kids down here and ride bikes on the lake. By the lake. Not on the lake, by the lake. But what I have to do is I had to find a way to transport my bikes from where we live to here by the lake. And the niche idea are car accessories. I had to go find an attachment for my car that I can connect to the back. I didn't know what I was looking for, so what did I have to do? I had to go do research. I'll tell you about the type of research that I had to do. I had to simply type into YouTube and Google, how to transport my bikes down to the lake, right? And so we've got 5 people in our family. I had to find an attachment that would allow you to transport 5 bikes, right? And then once I found, it's called like an Allen bike rack, I think is what it's called. I had to figure out how to connect it, how to set that up, how to make sure it's secure so that the bikes don't fall off as I'm driving down the hill. I had to also figure out all the different attachments I need. Sometimes when you're driving down the street, you see a truck, they've got one of those like balls on the back. Do I need that? How do I connect it? How do I set it up? What's the towing capacity? These are all things that you could essentially create content on and make money. So what if you started, and the thing that I bought was like $300, right? So if you earned a 10% commission on $300, that's $20. And you do that, 5 times a day, that's $100 a day. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you you're going to do that and that's going to happen to you, but that's a simple opportunity. That's a simple niche that essentially you could create and get into. There's a dog who's been jumping in and out of the water. Morning. And so that's an opportunity. But just look at the things that are happening to you. Look at the things that are happening around you, and you will see literally hundreds, if not thousands of niches that you could take advantage of. So, again, we don't have to overcomplicate it. We don't have to go find something super hidden, secret, undiscovered, untapped. When I looked to do research about how to install this this Allen 5 bike rack thing. I don't even know what it's called. The video that I watched had like 400 subscribers, but the views were in the thousands, right? So you don't have to be this huge mega channel. You just have to find a problem that's out there and create content to solve that problem. And the content that he created was showing me step by step how to install the bike rack. Now, unfortunately, he didn't have an affiliate link, because what I did was I did a little bit of research to figure out the different types of racks that I have. I needed 5 racks or 6 racks so that I could transport everybody, obviously my wife and kids. But then I wanted to make sure I knew how to assemble it. The assembly wouldn't be so difficult and complicated that it would fall apart or, I would struggle. Then I watched his video. He didn't have an affiliate link, so I just went over to Amazon and I watched it. I bought it from Amazon. But again, this is all stuff that anybody can do. Any regular Joe Schmo can do this. Right now, people are walking up and down. I think I've talked about this before, but the best walking shoes for 50-year-olds, walking accessories. These are all different niches. Anyway, I get excited when I talk about this type of stuff. Let's talk about something stupid and crazy and maddening that I'm embarking on. I asked ChatGPT, I asked AI to help me make $200,000 a month from my business. And I'm going to do everything it says to do. Now, I've done this in the past, but the difference is I've done it with niches that I don't really care about. I'm not really invested in it, and so it's hard for me to continue on. But I started doing this a couple days ago. So what I've done, and I've said this before, and it's really important to understand this, ChatGPT AI enhances what you already know how to do. If you don't know anything about content creation, you're going to struggle unless you're willing to learn, right? That's kind of the caveat. If you're willing to invest time, energy, effort into learning how to get better at something, then if you just put junk information into AI or ChatGPT, it's going to give you junk output. I feel like I'm pretty good at content creation. I feel like I'm pretty good at understanding the customer relationship, understanding what the customer wants and needs are. And so I'm going to marry what I know with what ChatGPT tells me to do to make $200,000 a month. Now that's an insane goal, but I wanted the goal to be insane. Now in 1 year, right? So $200,000 in a year from now. So we are July, 14th, 15th, 16th maybe, of 2025. In a year from now, $200,000 a month with AI. And the way that I plan on doing it is with digital products, affiliate marketing, having a membership or a community, software as a service, and then ad revenue is the last piece, the smallest piece of that puzzle. So again, it's already what I'm doing. It's already what I know how to do. I am just using AI to kind of add fuel to the fire, right? And you might be wondering why. Why am I doing this? Why am I going this direction? I think it's a really interesting thought experiment. Can it really take a business to the next level? I'm sure you have seen a lot of videos or you've heard a lot of people talking about what AI can do, but they never really show you what AI has done for them. They always give you, I would say, pie in the sky case studies that are kind of real numbers, but kind of not, because it's not actually their account. And so I want to try and break the mold. I want to show you what it's like, the good, the bad, the indifferent. Now, I'll be sharing a lot of that on my TikTok account if you want to check that out, but I will be providing weekly updates here as well about the progress, the metrics that I've met. I don't know if I'll provide the numbers, because I don't necessarily think that me telling my numbers does anything for you. I've shared numbers before, and I think it kind of creates a little bit of animosity. And I also don't really like to share the monetary, because whatever you put online can be documented and tracked and used against you for a variety of reasons, right? I think the FTC would not be thrilled about me telling you, oh, this month I made $50,000, because there's an implication that you'll make that amount too. And I want to stay far away from that. And, that could potentially open me up to litigation. If I said last month I made $70,000 and this is what I did step by step, someone could come along in theory and say, I did exactly what Alston did step by step, and I only made $2,000. He promised me, he guaranteed me that if I did what he did, I could make that same amount of money. And I don't want to do that. I don't even want to open myself up to the possibility or opportunity. But what I will share with you, what I do want to share, is documenting the journey, the good, the bad, the struggles. Nobody talks about the struggles. And the struggles are almost more important than the wins or the successes, because the struggles are learning opportunities and development and growth opportunities. So anyway, I asked ChatGPT, what do I need to do? And it talked about the number of views that you need to get per day, because that's what's really most important, getting the attention. If you can get attention, you can then convert some of that attention into traffic that you can control. Like I said, I think I started saying this, but before, I had started doing this before. I'd started this with like the pet niche and some other niches out there, but in reality, I still have the Instagram account up with my pet stuff, but I wasn't like passionate or interested, and it's hard for you to be consistent if you're not truly interested in the topic. The one thing that I really enjoy doing is talking and showing people about different ways to make money, like the different niche opportunities that are out there, based on my experience. With the pet stuff, it's cool, but it doesn't keep my attention long enough for me to come back to it. Like it's in the back of my mind, but it's not like, hey, I gotta run to do this. Talking about making money, starting an online business, growing channels, growing YouTube channels, is something that I feel like I run to. Like I'm sitting here, it's kind of cold out today, but I'm sitting here. The thing is over there. The a squirrel type thing. The Coast Guard is over there, that way. I'll show you guys in a minute. I just looked over there and realized that's where it was. But the teaching people about starting an online business and interacting with people about starting an online business is something that I always come back to and have been drawn to for a long time. Even back when I was, I would say, middle school, high school, I would take classes on business, starting businesses, and I've always been interested in it. Anyway, back to the game plan. The game plan is to keep one long detailed chat prompt, and have a conversation with it every single day. This is what I was able to do. This was what I didn't get done. Give me a game plan for today. And what's really cool about it is, it keeps a record, and it kind of holds me accountable based on things that I've gotten done. Hopefully I'm still connected. Yeah, it looks like I'm still connected. It enables a little bit of accountability. For example, on day one, I was supposed to create a lead magnet and a landing page. Well, I wasn't able to get that done. And so I can go to the chat and say, this is where I struggled. I wasn't able to get those things done. Can you help me out with it? I can enter in the analytics. So I can say over the last 30 days, I've gotten these many views. I've gotten these many impressions, or, I can even do this daily or weekly, which is really cool. And what I really like about AI is that it is, it's not emotional. It removes the emotion, and it's very logical. And you can speak to someone, and it gives you black and white. It gives you It gives you responses that aren't tied in emotion, and it doesn't rationalize your thoughts and feelings. Now, if I'm talking to myself, I've got this inner monologue going. I can rationalize why something isn't working or why the content isn't acting the way that it's acting. What I can do is I can go grab, for example, a transcript from a TikTok video, put it into AI, have it transcribed, and say, this is my content. How can I improve it? And it'll look at it and it'll give me a non-biased opinion of what's happening with my content and how I can improve it, which I think is really, really important. If you don't want to hire a mentor, which is fine, I completely understand that, use the tools that you have and be committed to learning and developing and building and growing. A lot of people, and I will say this until I'm blue in the face or until the cows come home, AI will only enhance what you already know how to do. Okay? If you're not willing to put in the skill, the time to learn a skill, to develop what you already have, AI is not going to give you much of anything. Okay? Really important to understand that. So anyway, the crazy stupid thing is I've asked AI to help me scale, help me take my business 3 levels up, I would say. And we're going to do what it says for 1 year. And part of it, and I think this part is often missed, is the accountability on your end. AI can only give you information based on the information you give it. So if you are rationalizing, or if you're lying to AI isn't going to know. ChatGPT isn't going to know, and it's not going to be able to provide you helpful information. So you've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to be honest with the direction that you're going. You've got to be honest with the type of content that you're creating. Are you really doing everything that you can to grow your business? And a lot of people will say yes, but the truth is, you're not. I'm not. You're not. We, as a group here, as a family, as a community, we're not doing everything that we can every single day to grow our business. And when you realize that, when you understand that, when you get out of your own way and realize that you're not doing everything that you could every single day to grow your business, that will help remove some of the frustration that you're having, right? People will say to me, Alston, I have been trying to do this for 5 years and I've got nowhere. And I'll ask them, are you doing everything that you can to grow your business? And they'll say, yeah, of course I am. Well, how many pieces of content did you make today? Well, I wasn't able to make any content. And so I'll say, within, you've had 24 hours in a day. We all have the same 24 hours. You've had 24 hours today and you weren't able to make any content. Why? You've had 24 hours and you weren't able to upload 3 videos on TikTok or a long form video where you're just looking into the camera like I am. Well, I was busy. So you're telling me the entire 24-hour period you were busy. And the answer is no. It's not possible to be busy the entire 24 hours. One of the most important things that I have to do, me, I'm not talking about anyone else, is be honest. Am I doing everything possible to grow my business to $200K per month? And that's what, $2.4 million? Am I doing everything possible? And the answer is no. I can be sending out emails every single day. I can be making more content. I can be watching less TV or playing less video games. Those are the little things that I can do, that you can do to scale. I can be saying, hey, Johnny, this is me time. I can spend less time scrolling aimlessly on TikTok. I can make time for the things that I really want. And what do I really want? $2.4 million in a year. That's an intense, insane goal that 99% of the world will never get to. 99.999999% of the world will never get to. You have to have a little bit of craziness and delusion and all sorts of weird things going on in your mind to say you're going to be the one to do that. You're going to be the one out of the 1 million people around you to be able to do that. Because it's been done before. Someone has done it before. So why not you? It's going to take consistency, persistence, irrational dedication, all sorts of craziness. But anyway, getting back to the main point of this video, the process is really simple. I asked ChatGPT to create a game plan, and I used ChatGPT 4.5 to create a game plan to help me make $2.5 million from year, 2.4, excuse me, or $200,000 a month, starting at zero. And so the first bit of it is going to be creating content to get traffic, creating content to get attention and eyeballs, but getting the right type of attention, the right type of eyeballs and traffic. That's going to be the key. A lot of people think you can just sing and dance and you're going to get the type of attention you want. That's not going to work. You've got to create the type of attention that attracts the right people to you and repels the wrong people away from you. So that's the craziness that I plan on doing. I started earlier this week, and I'll be providing updates to show you how it goes. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, I wanted to mention this early on in the beginning of the video, but every Sunday I want to do a Q&A where I pull 2 questions out from the community and make sure that I answer them thoroughly and in detail, so that you can get the help that you're looking for. So if you want to follow along, make sure that you do that. That'll be interesting and cool, and you'll get to see and hear my frustrations. I'll be updating it probably about once a week, just to make sure that you guys are getting all the information. Make sure that you like, comment, follow, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.